What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lone Fox YouTube channel. Today we have a new series I'm implementing on this channel. I feel like I've already started 2 new series and I only have 4 videos total. This new series is going to be $1 DIYs, and I really wanted to do this because I really love creating low-cost, affordable projects that still look amazing and high-end and expensive, and something that you can find at like Anthropologie or Urban or something like that you just don't want to pay like $48 for, you know? I'd love to know if you guys like this, so definitely give it a thumbs up below if you do like this series idea. And the concept behind this is not that all of the tools and supplies cost $1, it's that the finished project costs $1. So you might have to go out and buy like $10 or $15 worth of supplies, but the whole item or the finished DIY itself will be only $1 or less. So the amount of product I use on this, you'll have extra to use in the future on future DIYs, whether it be like paint or paintbrushes or something like that. Items that you can use again and again, so it's not just like you're using all of it at once. So the total finished DIY project is under $1, and I hope you guys enjoy, so let's get started. So the first design we are making is this palm leaf tray, and I start off with all of these designs by laying down some parchment paper and pulling a little bit of this air dry clay out and then just warming it up in my hands. I find this is the best way to do it. And if you don't have a rolling pin, this step isn't necessary, but I just like it for this one to create a really smooth surface. So I used a rolling pin just to roll out my clay, and I simply laid this thin sheet of clay over the top of this metal IKEA bowl. And you can really do this over any shape you would like. It could be a square, it could be a circle, whatever you want. Just let it dry overnight once you're done, and that's going to create your tray shape or the base of your tray. So then I used a bit of white paint and just a paintbrush, just did a coat of white paint. I actually did 2 coats to make it extra nice and crisp. And then after it was done, I did the front and back. I used a little bit of sage green paint, which I kind of wish I had like a more forest green color, but this is all I had in my stash of paints. So I used a sage green paint and just a very thin paintbrush to do a leaf shape. So I did the stem first, and then I just sort of marked out where I wanted those little like leaves to go on. And I used my paintbrush, I was gonna say pen. I use my paintbrush just to freehand on these shapes, and if you want to, you can totally like draw them out first and then paint in the lines with a pencil or something, but I just decided that a more freehand approach was kind of what I wanted to go for, so I just freehanded this leaf shape on here, and I guess you can just watch me freehand the rest of it on here for a bit and listen to some music. I do want to mention that I made them just varying lengths, varying sizes, and I also made them run off the edge of the tray for a more organic feel. And then this was the finished piece. I also went in with a tiny bit of black paint and sort of created an edge on this tray because I really wanted that sort of like hand-dipped, handmade look on the edge here. And honestly, for all of these trays, I wish I just did have like a clear Mod Podge or a clear sealant, but I didn't, so they're just left as is. But I do suggest like using a glossy Mod Podge or something to give it like a very professional finished look. Next, we're moving into this ring tray, which I also love, and this one's completely like hand done. So I used a bit of clay and I just pressed it down into a circle and then used my fingers just to create a nice little edge on the tray. So this is sort of like a tiny little edge, and you can make this whatever width, whatever length you would like it to be. It's totally up to you. And then I created this little mini hot dog shaped piece and sort of made it kind of like cascade up into a smaller length top. And I'm sure you guys have seen these at many different like little ceramic stores or Anthropologie or something. And then I use my finger just to press that shape onto the tray, and a bit of water to smooth it. So an amazing tip when using this air dry clay is if you want a really smooth after all look, you can use a little bit of water and it almost melts the clay down a little bit and fills in all the gaps and creates a very smooth finish, and it doesn't crack or anything, so you can totally use a bit of water to smooth out your design if you would like. And when it dries, it'll look exactly like shown here. And then all I did was use a bit of pearl finish paint, which pearl paint is so pretty. This is so inexpensive at the craft store too, just like probably 85 cents for a bottle of pearl paint, and you can just paint your whole design with it. I did 2 coats of it to give it that really pearlized look, and then a tiny bit of black paint with a flat top brush. I created sort of this like Dalmatian geographic, wow, I'm not talking right today, geometric shape to it. And then I finished it off with a little bit of black paint around the edges and black paint all across the bottom just to give it that nice finished polished look. And that is the finished ring holder, and I love this one so much. Moving into the last tray, this one's super self-explanatory. After watching the last two, you're just going to heat up a little bit of clay in your hands, make it all nice and mushy and malleable, and then you're going to create a circle shape with it. And I pressed this onto the back of a ramekin that was just in my kitchen. So I pressed it down on the back of the ramekin, and then I also made sure to just like press it along the sides of it. And then I used a knife just to cut off that extra clay around the edge here. And this was just very organic. I did it like very carefully and simply, nothing crazy. And I let this, of course, dry overnight. And then once it was dry overnight, I painted it with a peach colored paint, and then I used a little bit of my black paint just to do an eyelash shape on here. And my head was literally in the way the entire time, but I hope it's self-explanatory. I just created little tiny eyelash shapes on there as shown here. It was super easy and simple, and I think it turned out really cute.